You just received your new Seek Outside integrated backpack. Now we're going to go over the next steps to set it up. We're now going to go ahead and open up our integrated backpack. Get in. What should be in the box is a strap kit. This is going to include 4 gatekeeper straps, 1 over the top strap, and 1 gatekeeper to side release strap, as well as a field repair kit with a 1-inch buckle for your hip belt, 2 1-inch buckles to repair the hip belt, as well as 2 right and left gatekeepers. Now we're going to go ahead and get our backpack out of here and remove this package. Once you've opened the backpack and you've made sure all your straps and stuff are there, the first thing we're going to do is make sure our hip belt fits correctly. If the hip belt does not fit correctly, you can exchange it when in brand new with Seek Outside. Just go ahead and get in contact with the customer service. So what I like to do first is just loosen up my straps here. Not very important to have your torso length or anything set up right now. Just important to get this hip belt on. To make sure our hip belt fits correctly, first we want to get our hip belt on right where our iliac crest is. So that's the top of the hip bone. You want that to be sitting right there. And then your biggest thing is you want to make sure it's about 1.5 to 2 inches past your hip bone. And you want to make sure it's not too close to the point where you can't tighten the hip belt up. So get the hip belt nice and tight. Make sure you have good coverage. Make sure it feels comfortable. If that's all good, then you're ready for the next step. Our next step in getting this backpack fit correctly to us is having our torso length measured. Our torso length is from the top of our iliac crest, so the top of our hip bone, to our C7 vertebrae, which when you bend your neck down, you should be able to feel the predominant bump. I'm now going to get a friend to come in and measure my torso height. Again, that's from the C7 to the top of your hip bones. What I'll do is I'll grab the top of my hip bones. I'll run my thumbs back to my back. He'll find my C7 vertebrae. And he's going to run down and measure there. I do know from previous measurements that I do have a 19-inch torso. However, yours is going to vary, so get a good measurement. When you measure your torso on the backpack, you want to measure from the middle of your harness yoke to the middle of your hip belt. Here you'll see that this is about 16.5 inches, so we do need to make our torso length longer. When adjusting the harness and torso length, go ahead and loosen your load lifters off. I like to take the hip belt straps off here and then remove the straps that are holding your harness up. Cut. Next, we're going to loosen our harness here. We're going to push some of this webbing through and pull it out. And I'm going to get enough room to get about 2.5 inches out of this. Now that we've made our harness longer, I'm going to go ahead and double check. It looks like I am at about 19 inches here. Make sure that the harness is evenly adjusted, and then go ahead and tighten up the rest of your straps. That'll be your load lifters, your harness strap, as well as this harness cinch point. Now it's time to make sure our backpack is fit correctly and that we did the right torso length. So we recommend when putting on the backpack to have the harness and your load lifters nice and loose. And the first thing I'll be doing is getting the hip belt on nice and tight. Making sure that it's at my iliac crest again. Now that my hip belt is nice and tight, I'm going to take my harness and I'm going to get that nice and tight. Tighten my sternum strap. And then I'm going to tighten my load lifters. You want the top of the frame to be right by your earlobe. That allows you to get adequate load lift As you can see, the angle of the load lifters is about 45 degrees, and now your pack is correctly fit. Now that your backpack is correctly sized and fitted to you, now's a really good time to try some weight. We recommend trying 30 pounds, as that works for most backpackers. However, if you plan on carrying heavy loads, adjust the weight accordingly. On the integrated backpack, the load will go inside the backpack. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to place my load inside the pack bag. Now that we have the load in the bag, you can roll up the roll top and secure the load via the gatekeeper straps. I'll just cinch these down to make sure that load isn't going to move around on you too much. Now that the load is inside the pack bag, some people may opt to put a soft good such as a pillow or a shirt or something in the bottom to make the load go higher. You can use a gatekeeper strap down here at the bottom, connect them to the loops, run it through, and this can support your load as well as compress down the pack bag. Now it's time to go ahead and try the backpack on again. We recommend having the harness loose as well as the load lifters. I'm going to go ahead and throw this pack on. I'm going to get my hip belt nice and tight, again on top of my iliac crest. And then I'm going to adjust my harness, attach my sternum strap, and then use my load lifters. As you can see, the frame is still about where my earlobe is, so that means I have good frame height. You may want to use a 2 or 4 inch frame extension if the pack sits below there, so you can get good adequate load lift. Now that your pack is correctly sized and fitted to you, we're going to go over a few of the straps that come with the pack bag. With an integrated backpack, you will receive 4 gatekeeper straps, as well as 4 gatekeeper straps attached to the main pack bag. The gatekeeper strap is designed for load compression, as well as attaching other items to the bag by these loops on the backpack, and then cinching them down. The over-the-top strap has 3 gatekeepers on it. This is designed to secure your roll top, as well as secure items to the top of your pack bag. To use the over-the-top strap, simply take the 2 outside gatekeepers and attach them to these loops up above the frame. On the front of the pack bag, there will be a spot for you to secure your other gatekeeper. Thread this through this loop and then cinch down whatever item and or the roll top. The next strap is the side to release strap. As you can see, this has a gatekeeper on the outside ends, as well as a male and female end of a 3/4 inch buckle. These buckles are designed to go to your roll top. As you see, there's a male as well as a female end. Attach the male to female and the male to the female, and then simply run the gatekeeper strap to a desired loop on the outside of the backpack. And then cinch them down. The over-the-top strap and the gatekeeper to side release strap are not needed for the function of the pack and are used mostly to secure the roll top in a more neat way. If your integrated pack included a talon, it'll also come with a load shelf. The load shelf is great for securing loads to either the bottom of the pack or to raise loads inside the pack. The load shelf simply straps on via the gatekeeper system and can be used by compressing any of the loops on the outside of the pack. The talon system is designed to add compression as well as extra storage to your pack. It attaches to the backpack via the gatekeeper straps and can be used as compression for heavy loads and again for extra space. The Merlin system is also another accessory that you can purchase for your pack. It does all the same functions as a base talon, but is a little heavier and has a little extra storage. Again, this attaches to the pack via the gatekeeper straps and can be used as compression for loads as well as when the pack is empty. The top lid is intended to be used on top of the backpack and add extra storage. There's loops at the top of the backpack right above the frame where you will attach this via gatekeeper straps. This can also be used to store stuff in between your roll top and your top lid. The hip belt pockets can be added to the hip belt to add for some extra storage. Most of these accessories will come attached to the pack if you order them with the pack. The talon will be attached if your backpack has no face pocket, such as this Uniweep 4800. However, on something like a Divide backpack, the talon will not come attached. The top lid, the Merlin, and your hip belt pockets will also come attached to the backpack. Now that you know the ins and outs of your new integrated Seek Outside backpack, go take it to the field and have fun. Have a great day.